The Empire State Building is located between 33rd and 34th Streets on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. On May 1, 1931, it was replaced by the Chrysler Building, which was the tallest building in the world until that day. Its construction was completed in 1932. The building has 102 floors and 1576 stair steps. Its height is 381 m and 443.2 m with the antenna. On a clear day, 5 U.S. states can be viewed from the building at a distance of 80 miles. These are New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. 117 million people have visited the building to date. There are 74 elevators in total, some of which are express elevators that go to the top floor without stopping at the intermediate floors. The construction of the Empire State Building it was completed in only 18 months. Since the number of employees changes, the exact number of employees in the Empire State construction cannot be given. Additionally, the Empire State Building has inspired some movies shot in New York. Besides, Empire State is the nickname of New York State. Times Square is the intersection of West 42nd Street with Broadway and 7th Avenue and the area around it in New York City. Although it does not have exact boundaries, it is an area approximately extending from 6th Avenue in the east, 8th Avenue in the west, 40th Street in the south and 53rd Street in the north, and corresponds to the western part of Manhattan's Midtown District. A new tradition began on New Year's Eve in 1904, when the New York Times, which gave its name to Times Square, moved to its new building in the square with fireworks, and New Year's Eve began to be celebrated with fireworks in this square every year. This tradition still continues. Every year, a crowd of thousands of people gather in the square to watch the landing of the famous illuminated ball marking the new year. Times Square is famous for its heavy traffic as well as its taxis. The Statue of Liberty, officially known as Liberty Enlightening the World, is a monumental statue and observation tower on Liberty Island in New York City, USA, which has been the symbol of America since 1886. It is one of the most recognized monuments in the world. The Statue of Liberty, made of copper, was gifted to the USA by France for the 100th anniversary of its founding. It was built between 1884 to 1886. The statue holds a torch in its right hand and an inscription in its left hand. The date July 4, 1776, the date of the Declaration of Independence, is written on the tablet. The 7 pointed tips of the crown on the head of the statue symbolize 7 continents or 7 seas. The height of the statue is 46 meters and 93 meters with its base. Visitors can climb a 168-step staircase from inside the statue to the torch. The height of the statue's right hand holding a torch is 13 meters. The Statue of Liberty is open to visitors. Those who want to visit can reach the island by ferry, climb the stairs to the torch and watch the New York Harbor. Isabelle Eugenie Boyer, the widow of Isaac Singer, the founder of Singer Sewing Machines, modeled the statue. 1 year after the Statue of Liberty was completed in France in 1884, it was divided into 350 pieces and delivered to New York Harbor in 214 crates. Pieces were reassembled on the pedestal within 4 months, and it was inaugurated in front of thousands of spectators on October 28, 1886. The Statue of Liberty has been on UNESCO's World Heritage List since 1984. Central Park is a public urban park located on an area of 3,382 acres in the Manhattan district of New York City, United States. With an average of 25 million visitors annually, Central Park is the most visited urban park in the United States. Many movies and television shows with scenes shot in the park and the iconic concerts given by famous musicians and bands in the park have made this park one of the most famous parks in the world and one of the symbols of New York. Park also has facilities used as an ice rink in winter and a swimming pool in summer. Major attractions include the Ramble and Lake, Hallett Nature Reserve, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir, and Sheep Meadow. Entertainment venues such as Woolman Rink, Central Park Carousel, and Central Park Zoo. Official areas such as Central Park Mall and Bethesda Terrace, and the Delacorte Theater. The biodiversity ecosystem has several hundred species of plants and animals. Recreational activities include carriage horse and bicycle tours, cycling, sports facilities, and concerts and events such as Shakespeare in the Park. Central Park is crossed by a system of walking paths and roads and is served by public transportation. The Brooklyn Bridge is a bridge over the East River in New York connecting Brooklyn and Manhattan. Construction of the bridge started on January 3, 1870. It was completed 13 years later and opened for service on May 24, 1883. When completed, it was the widest suspension bridge in the world. The bridge's towers were the tallest structures in the USA for several years. The span between the main piers of the bridge over the Eastern River is 486.3 meters. Construction cost of the bridge was $15.1 million and approximately 27 people died during its construction. Building this bridge, which was needed to address the increasing traffic between Brooklyn and Manhattan, was the dream of John A. Roebling, the inventor of the wire cable. John A. Roebling was the owner of the world's largest cable manufacturing company, producing telegraph wires, electrical bridge wires, ship and elevator wires. He worked on the drawing of the bridge since 1865. He managed to get the bridge construction project he dreamed of, but as a result of an accident during the location of the bridge, his foot was crushed and he died in 1869 after suffering in pain for 2 weeks as a result of infection. His son, Washington Roebling, was appointed as the chief engineer of the bridge. In 1870, while working in the underwater chambers on which the towers of the bridge would be built, Washington Roebling suffered an injury and became bedridden. Thanks to the struggle of his wife, Emily Warren Roebling, he was not dismissed from his position as the chief engineer of the bridge, and his wife unofficially continued as the chief engineer, and he supervised the construction of the bridge by watching from his bed. And through his wife, he established a connection with the construction site. The opening day of the bridge was declared a holiday in New York, and it is said that 150,300 pedestrians crossed the bridge and threw one cent into the water. This bridge, built in Gothic style, is considered the pinnacle of 19th century engineering and the eighth wonder of the world. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, colloquially the Met, is one of the largest and most important museums in the world. Located next to Central Park in Manhattan, New York, the museum contains the section containing medieval art called the Cloisters. The museum contains artifacts from the ancient East, Egyptian, Greek, and Roman periods. Part of the European Middle Ages collection is housed in an annex at the northern tip of Manhattan. The museum has a research library, a section for children, and an active educational exhibition. The museum also contains paintings by prominent names of Western painting. It hosts more than 2 million works. Broadway is a street in Manhattan, New York, USA. Musical theater performances in the USA have reached their peak in the theaters and concert halls located on this street and in the streets leading to it. That's why the name of this street is identified with musical art in the USA. It is the oldest north-south main thoroughfare in New York City, with much of the current street allegedly beginning as the Wickwasgeck Trail before the arrival of Europeans. This then formed the basis for one of the primary thoroughfares of the Dutch New Amsterdam colony, which continued under British rule, although most of it did not bear its current name until the late 19th century. Some portions of Broadway in Manhattan are interrupted for continuous vehicle traffic, including Times Square, Herald Square, and Union Square, and instead used as pedestrian-only plazas. South of Columbus Circle, the road is one-way going southbound. Broadway in Manhattan is known widely as the heart of the American commercial theatrical industry, and is used as a metonym for it, as well as in the names of alternative theatrical ventures such as Off-Broadway and Off-Off-Broadway. Rockefeller Center is a business center complex located in the Manhattan borough of New York. Complex was built at the special request of John D. Rockefeller and is today a property of the Rockefeller family. It is located between 48th and 51st Streets in Midtown Manhattan and consists of 19 buildings. Its construction started in 1930 and took approximately 9 years to complete. Rockefeller Center was declared a National Register of Historic Places and a Landmark of National Historic Significance on December 23, 1987. It is also known for its Christmas tree, which is erected every year during the winter months. The September 11th monument was built in memory of the nearly 3,000 people who lost their lives as a result of the attack on the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001, and the 6 people who lost their lives in the bomb detonated in the same buildings in February 1993. Twin waterfalls inside the monument are the largest man-made waterfalls in North America. These waterfalls and their pools were built exactly on the foundations of the Twin Towers. In addition, the names of people who lost their lives in the attacks in 1993 and 2001 are displayed on bronze panels in front of the pools. The High Line project is a redesigned and greened park area on an elevated railway line in Manhattan. The High Line project was realized in the early 1930s when the New York Central Railroad decided to build an elevated railway to serve industrial warehouses in the area in order to prevent train accidents at street level. However, new highways and trucks caused this system to lose its function. The part of the train line up to Bank Street was closed in 1970, and the remaining part of the train line was closed in 1980. Since then, a unique ecological system consisting of grass, herbs, flowers, and trees has formed on this line. Conrail, the then owner of the High Line train line, sold this structure to Peter Oblitz. Peter Oblitz's desire to turn this railway into a local public transportation line in the late 1970s did not come true, but thanks to Peter Oblitz, the High Line had a chance to survive until today without being demolished. In the 1990s, residents, city planners, and architects came together to discuss how these existing ruins should be used. In 1999, a non-governmental organization called Friends of the High Line was established with the aim of restoring the High Line area and presenting a greened park area raised from the ground to the public. Although the then mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, was not keen on this project and signed a decree for the demolition of this railway before leaving office, the next mayor, Michael Bloomberg, approached this project very positively. In 2004, Friends of the High Line received the necessary approvals and financial support from the city municipality. The first part of the project, whose design and construction started in April 2006, was completed in June 2009.